a few seconds. Listen, we're doing low quality stuff right now because my studio is currently. I was on vacation last week, and the studio's coming together for Friday, so I am pretty lo-fi right now. Ryan, in his typical Ryan sense, is in a new location, new and undisclosed every week.
Yeah, you got to stay all over the grid so that they don't tie you down in one place, Dave. You know,
we do have back weeks.
Yeah. It's just
I can't. I hate it. This is your thing. I can't wait for it to be only your thing again.
It looks so much cleaner. There's nothing there.
It's like I can't hear myself. This is terrible.
You can hear yourself when you watch yourself. Get the beard in there.
No. I don't want to.
All
right. In all seriousness, we're going to be talking about Alex Jones because there's another new Alex Jones update. Boeing, apparently their planes are made of who knows what. Supreme Court throwing out the Trump-era bump stock ban. Bear Grylls, I don't know if you heard about Bear Grylls having to step down from the Scouts. Perfect, love it. There's a handful of other things. We should talk about Biden. Biden.
Wait, like you mean the survival guy that would like fillet a rattlesnake, fill it with his piss, and then drink like the ultimate voice?
Yeah, that guy ruled. So, yeah, we're going to talk about those things. We should talk about Biden because there's a new narrative about the Biden, being 1,000 years old and senile thing.
Oh, only now? There's last year?
The problem, Ryan, is there's two conflicting narratives.
What narratives, David?
Well, we'll get into it. Also, we're going to do Ryan's record, maybe Dave's record before Ryan's record, and...
Just take it over the whole show. What am I to contribute now?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're here for, honestly, Ryan.
Clearly a different studio background every week.
Yeah, so my studio is going to be together for Friday. It's not going to be finalized, but it's going to be workable.
It'll look like a popper next to you. You're going to have like this legit, glorious, well-lit arena.
Yeah, I'll have to make you small. The thing is, we're going to... Friday, we're going to have Libertarian Party Vice Presidential nominee Dr. Mike Termat on. I think I said that close enough.
He's a doctor, too.
I feel like I should have some more respect, but his name is very foreign. I don't even know if he's allowed to.
Though.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he looks white, which could be European.
Easternly.
He's definitely Eastern European of some type. His last name is Maat. There's no way he's not some type of European.
Some kind of Slav.
European. He's something.
Go back generalizing.
Go back to your country, Dr. Matt.
Yeah, stop running ours. No, really. It's going to be interesting. I know what I'm asking him, David.
And Wednesday, but you should know what you're asking him because it's in 4 days. Wednesday, the 27th, also is the presidential debate. So we're going to be live streaming that as well.
It's jam-packed week and month, David.
You wrote it in your calendar, Ryan. You have to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate being promised for things, even for vice presidential candidates.
Too bad. Already happened.
Could you imagine me showing up late to a Trump interview? Be like, why were you keeping me waiting? Be like, you know how it is. Stormy was in the car, and
Trump. You're gonna have to get used to Ryan. That's what he does.
Yeah, just 15 minutes late for everything. Yo, Trump will outshow me out late next time though. He'll be late. I'll even be later. 4-hour interview takes 6 hours. Sorry, dude. It's been a weird.
No, it's fine. Ryan, let's start with Bear Grylls. So here's the headline.
This is amazing.
This is the headline from The Independent, which of course it changed their logo.
First of all, I'm a Girl Scout, so fuck the Boy Scouts. Also,
okay, well, that's fine, and it is 2024, so you can do whatever you want to do. Here's the headline from The Independent: Scouts issue statement after reports Bear Grylls is stepping down following a Russell Brand baptism.
Wait, what?
So apparently, we talked about the Russell Brand baptism on the show.
Of course, his character arc has been magnificent to watch, to say the least. So like, literally, his character as a person.
Apparently, Bear Grylls was there. He was a part of the baptism. Did you know this, Ryan?
No, obviously not. Obviously not, David, because I didn't see I was not aware that there was a celebrity guest list to Russell Brand's. Did he participate, or he was just subjugated?
No, I guess they're like very good friends. Apparently,
well, that's weird that the all-time conspiracy theorist, anti-government guys, friends with the best Boy Scout.
I don't know. Weird. Apparently, they're good friends, and Amazing. That has caused enough of an issue that he had to step down from the Boy Scouts, right? Being friends with Russell Brand is enough to get you outed from the Boy Scouts.
Sounds like social credit score, dude.
Right? Am I missing something? Is Russell Brand like what's their problem with Russell Brand? He's not like super far right.
He came out. He came out with COVID, dude. I mean, what was it? I don't know how long. We'd have to go in our document, Cam, David, and go back through our shows. But we talked about Russell Brand getting attacked for like sexual assault or whatever they were trying to put him, and then it just basically evaporated, obviously. Well, but I forget what was it.
Just like yeah, but there was something for Matt Gaetz, and it's going to evaporate for Tate, and it evaporated for Alex Jones,
of course, except for Trump, of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I forget what was actually in tandem as far as like what he was doing specifically, but it had to be related to COVID. It had to be backlash to COVID. It had to be, I'm loosely remembering here.
Well, Ryan, a lot of people like kind of came, I don't know if I should say came out during COVID, Ryan. Like it was basically like, it was probably very freeing for a lot of people, but when COVID happened, that was the deciding factor for a lot of people.
Yeah, once again, we still have, I'm not expecting flowers personally, but we need to pioneer these people that like literally risk their livelihoods for their opinion.
I mean, we saw the divide. I mean, recently, Chris Cuomo was on PBD talking, and we had a whole episode about this, but he was talking about Joe Rogan, and it's just that's the divide that you need to see. That's the contrast you need to see. I mean, are you a Chris Cuomo guy or are you a Joe Rogan guy? It's literally black and white.
Yeah, it's interesting now, David. Like it literally is a social credit score. Like you're basically, if your network is affiliated with things now, you're getting canceled. You have to step down from opportunities or leading. And let's be honest, Bear Grylls stepping down from the Boy Scouts, well, Scouts of America, because they changed their name, right, David?
Yeah. Well, you can't have it, defined by gender, right?
Well, the Girl Scouts can be called Girl Scouts, though. Yeah, him stepping down from that organization is nothing short of a tragedy, I imagine. When you're talking that level of, I mean, the guy was like a special forces operator. He was a high altitude. Like, it's been years since I've seen the actual show, but he would tell you what he did before all those episodes. And the guy was like, all that shit starts, like even Tim Kennedy talks about it sometimes, that all that stuff starts in Scouts. Like some of the best Marines and some of the best special forces, some of the best military guys ever literally started as Cub Scouts.
I remember for a long time that was a big deal for a lot of employers, right? Like it was like college degree, Boy Scouts, and it was a thing because it's just like being in the military to some extent.
It's literally a foundation,
such a character.
Yeah, but to go further, it's literally a paramilitary operation, though. It's not even like a symbolic. It's literally a military operation.
Like my God, we need to talk about. I didn't even bring this up at the beginning of the show, but we have to talk about when we're bringing up the military. We got to talk about women being drafted. Have you seen this?
Oh, it happened. No, I told you. We knew this. Obama, when he signed that women could fight in the front lines, he defaulted. When he basically allowed women to participate in active duty, what he did by default is basically allow women to get registered for the draft simultaneously. Because in order to fight in the front lines, you also have to be eligible for a draft, or vice versa, whatever it is. Slay me, YouTube. But yeah, this was known this was going to happen. It's not just your sons, dude. They'll send your daughters, and they will, and they'll jack them with steroids, and then they'll come back as Phil.
Phil. Just a guy named Phil?
Yeah, no last name.
Well, it could be worse, Ryan.
It's racist.
Ryan, it could be
last
worse.
Names are ethnicists, Dave. What could be worse? Your daughter's dying in war. that's like literally. And you know what? To go further, what's even
Well-
worse is that like men are so unfit to fight war that they would have to send women, and women would gladly do it. First of all, because they're women and they're
Hold on.
women
Let
do
me
a lot
let
of
me
shit.
tell you. Let me tell you how it could be worse. It could be you could be stuck drinking a Starbucks coffee. Ryan, it's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775.com. Use the promo code Studio40 to get 40% off any coffee subscription. This
Really?
coffee
40%?
comes in medium and dark roast. It also comes in pea berry, which is similar to a Kona coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium, Ryan. Click the link in the live chat or in the description. You can go directly to 1775.coffee.com and use the promo code Studio40 to get 40% off today. I had to, dude. Come on, Studio's not going to pay for itself. Shameless
you could at
plug.
least tell me. You could at least tell me we're doing ad reads.
No,
in the
that's going to
beginning
be
of
the best. That's the best part. Is I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to jump into one.
I'm gonna have a fucking ad for like the Super Bowl one time, and we're being in the middle of a. Well, Ryan, why don't you save the energy for Super Bowl 75? Greatest podcast ever. I love this. I love you, dude. That's amazing. Russell Brand actually has promoted that coffee, David. So maybe we should distance ourselves from it.
Oh, good Lord.
It's also funny. These guys are
Ryan.
Branding.
You're gonna be forced out of the Girl Scouts or Scouts of America. Wait, do Girl Scouts still exist if the Boy Scouts don't?
Still called Girl Scouts of America, brother.
But the Boy Scouts are now Scouts of America.
Yeah, tell me how the boys lost their sack and the girls didn't.
Well, was the Girl Scouts older than Boy Scouts? Am I right?
I'm convinced that they're just turning women into men because they have destroyed the male genome. So they're just going to make hybrids. This is going to be like girly men, like strong jack chicks.
That's why.
Like all girls are just going to be strong and jacked.
That's why they can be drafted.
They're going to have to be drafted because all the guys are playing Call of Duty right now.
Ryan, the Y chromosome is disappearing anyway.
I swear on my life, if I have to go fight a war because 70% of 18-year-olds can't see their dick in the shower, I'm going to rub it in their face when I win. Believe me. Yep, saved you from Hitler again. You know, us old guys, he'll be 45 by then, be fighting cyborgs with a cyborg arm, slaying these bastards. I'm going to have to come back and look 18 and 19-year-old boys in the face. They're so fat, they can't move their hands. They got carpal tunnel, and they don't even do nothing. I'm sorry, what are we even talking about? That ad kind of just threw me for a loop here, dude. 1775 coffee. These guys like stole 2 years from us, or a year rather.
Well,
1773, man.
We're kind of all over the place, but I like to continue being all over the place because we have a packed show, so we gotta really condense it in here.
Yeah, you're gonna throw another ad read at me and not tell me about it.
Listen,
what the fuck does Starbucks have to do with waging war against the InfoWars, Dave?
Because they're like they're anti-gun and stuff, aren't they? Isn't that a thing? Weren't they anti-firearm or something? Didn't they tell all these people that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure when Donald Trump signed his bump stock ban, David, I went on my Facebook and said "fuck Trump" because it's anti-Second Amendment. And now what happened, David? Tell me, please. I'm curious.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's the exact thing I was going to get into next. The Supreme Court struck it down. They said, "No, you absolutely not. You can't do that."
What was your reasoning, David?
So the common agreement upon the justices who voted to strike it down was that the argument was that the bump stock would turn a semi-automatic firearm into a equal of a fully automatic firearm, which would violate the assault weapons ban. So what they said was, no, absolutely not. A bump stock does not make a semi-automatic a fully automatic. You can't do that. Good luck. Now, my question is, why are fully automatics not available to civilians?
Assault weapons ban in the 90s, David.
Right. Do you have freedom to bear arms, or do you not?
I'm pretty sure, David, you would need F-15s to overthrow the government, David.
Well, that's That's
Are
the
they
next
admitting by
question.
default that I can have an F-15?
So
Like,
there was
if you're telling me I would need one to overthrow you, you're saying that there is a potential that I could own it. Like, just the idea of me possessing it is now a threat.
there was a historical document, and I don't remember all the specifics, but it was somebody wrote a letter to, I'm going to say James Madison. I could be wrong about this.
Was it the cannon?
Yes, he asked if he could have cannons. I think it was to defend against pirates. I could be wrong about this.
I think I remember this.
And he was like, "Fuck
Second
yeah, you can
Amendment?
have cannons. Yeah, dude. Why couldn't you have cannons?"
Cannons, my boy.
That's why it's so important when you pick a Supreme Court justice, and if you are a Supreme Court justice, the thing that's important is that you're not just reading the words, you're understanding the context. The historical context is worth way more than the writing.
Yeah, I mean, they even say, right, when you look back at the document itself, you should remember the time that it was written and try to have the spirit of what we had when they wrote it, which is crazy to think about. Because there ain't never been another document that's like, no, try to remember what it was like to live that time. It's just like you read these things. Yeah, I've heard it put that the greatest documents ever written were the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bible. So take that for what you will. But yeah, I don't know, dude. This, I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I don't know how the laws barely work. I can barely keep my car registered and insured, or inspected, rather.
Well, they do make that rather difficult.
Why do I need to inspect private property? It's just so retarded. And I have to be ashamed we got to inspect your couch there before you lug it inside. Couches don't kill people. Yeah, but the most powerful thing, when I went to all those gun rallies all those years ago before I even started, it kicked me on the path I am today, right? But one of the things that always stuck with me is the simplest thing. Like, the Second Amendment is like one of the shortest amendments. It's like 27 words or something. And it ends with shall not be infringed. And they always told you to call your congressman and your elected representatives and ask them, what part of shall not be infringed do you not understand? And I guess, like, I never realized the other half of where that has to go, because if you don't understand why it shall not be infringed, you don't understand why we need firearms. So, I mean, let's not exaggerate. The only reason the globe is still free relative to before and after COVID was that the United States military knew that the United States population was armed.
Like, yeah, I think
we're underestimating like the power of the local man having a sword, a firearm.
I'm pretty sure on a prior episode at one point I did say that the only reason we don't have globalism is the Second Amendment.
Yeah, it's 100% correct. And we're coming to the point now that it's like, there was always a thing that you use the First Amendment, and when the First Amendment don't work, you use the Second, right? It's like kind of like a joke of one of the comedians as well. But I mean, we're at the point now that you don't even get a chance to use the first. Well, and you can barely use the second.
Well, let's talk about that, because that leads us to Alex Jones, who had the audacity to use the First Amendment. So for people who haven't been following the whole Alex Jones thing, so I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning, but he was sued for $1.5 billion, and that led him down the path of this. Going through bankruptcy, they had a liaison between Alex Jones, InfoWars, and the court. That guy apparently was going to lock the doors. Alex Jones won that. They said, no, you can't do that. You're not in charge. Then they said he was forced to sell all of his assets and ownership of InfoWars. He fought that, appealed that. They said, okay, this is the newest update. You can keep InfoWars, but you have to sell all of your assets. And Alex Jones, man, he's God bless him. He's like taking this as a huge win. To me, this is absurd. I mean, the fact that they're making him sell his private property because he used his First Amendment right to free speech. It's craziness. And I'm going to ask when we have Dr. Mike Matt, the Libertarian Party vice presidential nominee, on the program Friday, I'm going to ask him, like, what's the line in the sand? Where do you stand? Because if this isn't the line in the sand for a lot of people, then I don't know what is.
I don't know, David. They're only trying to like arrest a former president.
Well, yes, he's remember he's going to be. I don't remember the exact date. So I think it's in July.
But after the debate, but before the election.
After the date, before the Republican convention. I'm telling you, it's about to get wild.
I will break that guy out of jail. I swear. I swear to God, I will go down there. I will go down there.
Peacefully to ask for your rights back?
Oh, super peaceful, believe me. I'm only knocking once. Super peaceful. The first knock is the most peaceful, Dave. Wow, you're fucking... Oh, they'll respect you. It's murdering generations of people. They respect me now.
Do they, though? Do they respect us right now? Do you feel respected, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel respected, David, that the Cheerios that are made in the place that I live are $6 more than in North Carolina. Real happy about it. I love this.
I'm gonna preface
this. Makes complete sense.
I'll be as clear as I can. I am very thankful that Rumble exists, and you can follow us like us on Rumble. But I would like to be allowed on YouTube. Like, that'd be cool. I mean, we're streaming to YouTube, but every other video gets struck down for some reason. I'd like to be on YouTube. They have 40 times the following. You know what I mean?
Surely, David, it's just our content must be wrong or something.
I don't know. It seems to work on Rumble. But that's because it's a right-wing conspiracy echo chamber or whatever they say.
Like the airplanes, David.
Yeah. Oh, here's a chat. Yeah, but Alex Jones used that right to spread outrageous nonsense on a school shooting.
Okay, so what about yeah, outrageous. What is outrageous? Define outrageous.
Let me ask this. He didn't get sued for talking about gay frogs. That's because that was 100% true. Let me ask this. Is a right to free speech limited to being correct about something?
David, I've heard it put that freedom of speech only matters for speech that is not accepted, basically, because you wouldn't have to like defend the speech if the speech is already accepted by the masses. Like, if I say something like the sky is blue, most people aren't going to fight me on that, so I don't even need to defend the right to speak about the color of the sky. It sounds arbitrage, but it's really not. Like, I listened to a podcast on Chris Williamson's about the evolution of morality today. It's very interesting. Not that I'm applying. It's just interesting how they fall in line, because the Constitution does not give you rights.
It acknowledges them and
well, it says the Declaration of Independence is the only thing that really acknowledges that you have the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That's the only thing that is like literally as far as like explicit. But when you look at the Constitution and the amendments and the Bill of Rights, which is the government saying that these are the things that we are not allowed to touch. Once again, look at the amendments. They're not worded like you have the right to this. It's like Congress shall make no law. That's not the same thing. And then we're in the era now that it's called legalese. Like the words that common English that we write down on sheets of paper to notes to each other is not the same laws that lawyers use. There's a big black lawyer book. I forget the name of it. But there's a new one every year, and that's what you pass the board exam on. That's what all this shit's based on. Congress shall make no law. It doesn't matter. And to go further, this whole arbitrage, once again, YouTube, fuck you. This whole idea that they're a private company, they get global money from global governments and global entities and the World Health Organization and NATO and everybody else. They are not a private they are not a private company. They're receiving some kind of state or federal funding. That bare minimum, it allows for oversight and it allows for like questions to be asked. And also when we're dealing with social media, to go even further, we are talking about the public square in some regard.
So real quick,
And just the idea that they have an algorithm to get you information is just proof that they already, I know it's a private company, but they're hindering the audience. It's not a natural growth. Like what you get on your feed is not organic. It's fed. That's why it's a feed. It's in the fucking word. The words don't matter, David, right?
So
they feed you the information.
Just to lay it out
for you, David. It's screened for you before you see it.
To your point, I'm going to read it real quick because it is very short, as most of the amendments are. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So,
and I'll go even further. I don't even need the Congress to say, dude. And to go further, this is assembling now. Video calling is assembly of people. I can see you. It's not just speaking. We're not just on the phone here. That's a double whammy on the right, because once again, it's not just one violation. Those are separate. But they didn't tell you that in history class in 11th grade. I remember seeing my sister's history thing, and the Second Amendment isn't even referenced in history class. It's arguably the most important next to the First Amendment. The one too that a lot of people, a lot of the one. Can you hear me?
I don't know if it was me or you, but you broke up a bit. I can hear you now.
Yeah, and then a lot of one that most people don't think about that I've like kind of extruded a little bit. You know, there's that one. What is it? The Fourth Amendment? Is it no? Is it the Third Amendment? You shall house no soldiers during times of war or peace, or something.
That is one of them. I don't remember the exact number.
Yeah, I would argue that that's what we do with military bases, and when we fund foreign wars that aren't considered legal wars. So we already do that. We house soldiers all over the globe with our tax dollars. Like that's what I mean. We're Americans now. We're not even like there's no political parties. Like we just need to get people. I don't even care about we should just get rid of letters, and the idea that there's aisles in this thing. Because we just need people with the understanding that like we have to go back to something.
In the chats, the parents whose children were killed had to hear a man talk about how their lives were fake and didn't really die. They don't have a right to happiness. Alex Jones followers.
Okay, Alex Jones followers harassed is a generality. Once again, Davis talked about that. Go after the harassers. That's not Alex Jones's fault. Did he promote it? Did he tell them in text messages to go to this place and do this thing? And this also goes to the whole thing about this is what's crazy about it. It's like you want me to be held liable for speech that you don't like. Like that's all it is. The speech that you like, you accept. Once again, like this is the problem. It's like
that's what's important. Take Alex Jones out of it.
Yeah, I don't like this. It needs to be stopped. That's all this is. It doesn't matter if somebody got hurt or not, because I'll tell you this right now. The argument that children are killed right now, there's people on the internet saying that all the shit in Gaza is fake right now, and Al Jazeera and all these people, and fake AI images of kids and all. So you can cherry pick an example. My rights don't end when somebody else's life does. Like, it's actually a shame that, like, because of dead people, living people are losing their rights. And then to go further, people aren't even born yet, and they have less rights than you do right now. That's not right either. That's going the other way. That's the opposite of liberalism, which is the very thing that some of these people say they are. They're not liberal if they take your freedoms. Liberalism means freedom. Define fucking liberal. It means freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty are two different words, David, if people didn't know that one, too. Liberty means political freedom in particular. That's why it's freedom and liberty. But words don't matter, right? Just like gender. Which is why they have to destroy them. Which is the whole thing with Alex is symbolic. They will do it to you. You may have not said things that killed somebody, but you're going to say, hey, that's a really nice blouse. And that girl is going to be able to sue you for $1 billion because it's sexual harassment and you lost your house Your wife's going to leave you. Your kids are going to hate you. They're going to be able to socially mock you. You're going to have your internet access cut off. What, like, tell me it's not going to happen.
I think the other thing that's important too, and I'm only bringing this up because Mike said that it was Alex Jones' platform for years. I don't remember the exact number. I'll take it up and I'll bring it up next week. But I think the accumulated amount of time that Alex Jones talked about Sandy Hook was like 15 minutes total over X amount of years. Like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was very small. And in fact, that was one of the defenses that Alex Jones wanted to use in his trial that he was not allowed to use by the court. He wasn't allowed to say it was free speech. He wasn't allowed to bring up the amount of time that he had talked about this on his platform, because their whole case was built on the idea that Alex Jones made millions of dollars off Sandy Hook conspiracy.
Yeah, and the other thing that's very important too, David, like if the people that listen to Alex the least are the ones with the loudest opinions on the guy. Just so you know, every man in America has testicular cancer because you have microplastics in your balls. Fact. We all have dick cancer. They just didn't tell you yet. You don't have a mass. We have plastic in your balls. That was the first person I ever heard talk about anything to dealing with that, David. Alex Jones. I don't want to hear it.
Is that the same guy who called 9/11 months before it happened?
They're going to get the guy on the one thing that he did wrong and make it heinous and jazz it up and run it through the mainstream media print. They're getting Alex Jones for parents getting harassed. What about every mainstream news article that like literally take dead children and masquerade it every day to get ad revenue from fucking Pfizer? But the guy that speaks out against global entities that want to literally rape kids on fucking islands. I'm told that don't listen to this guy. Don't support this guy. I have his movies. I have the Endgame. It's from like 2008. The shit is in the movie.
Right. The president of the United States went on TV and told everyone that unvaccinated people were going to murder everybody with their viruses. I don't remember the exact words, but he said it was going to be a
cold dark death,
unvaccinated or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when 4th of July, David, when he had that red backdrop, made him look like he was fucking a demon up there?
I got to tell you, that opened people up for harassment. So, I mean, where do you go from there? Does Joe Biden get deplatformed as a president? Should he be taken off all social media platforms? We were harassed. Try going back to COVID. Go back 4 years. Walk into a place without a mask on and tell me you don't get harassed.
People enjoyed the harassing you, actually. Yeah, and go even further, David. It's only one side to not the aisle game, but it's mostly only really a certain ideology of people that want to stop other people from speaking. That's the problem. I mean, seriously, I'm not seeing. I mean, I was going to say I'm not seeing conservatives, but then again, Ben Shapiro had that gag order.
Well, yeah, he certainly did. Yeah, but not actual people who believe in freedom, just Ben Shapiro.
Oh, you mean not the agenda narrative-driven pricks? A little snake guy, dude. I'm glad he knows MMA.
Ryan, do you want to talk about Boeing?
Yeah, we told you. We told you guys.
Well, hold on.
What do you mean?
They don't know what they don't know yet. They don't know what we told them.
Tell them, Dave.
So
do we got to get a document can for people to believe me, or is this just too much fuck? Do you remember when I said those spiders came from? Yeah, I told you guys that those spiders probably came from China, and then Dave punched them in, and they're native to China. Just lucky
guess.
Lucky
so Boeing,
guess.
A document came out that showed that Boeing was using. It's a tricky story. Fake titanium. Artificial
shitty
titanium?
Chinese titanium, not really strength grade titanium.
I don't want to give Boeing. I don't want to give Boeing any benefit of the doubt. They bought their titanium from China. China fake documentation showing it was real titanium. I would think really high, smart engineers and people would know the difference between real and fake titanium. I don't know. Maybe it's not that much of a difference.
Maybe the quality control guy, David.
Well, he died.
They only had one quality control guy.
No, they had another one. He died too. This is conspiracy, Ryan. You're going to get people at Boeing harassed.
Good. We should harass the entire board at Boeing and tell me why. Look, why didn't you buy the steel in America? Like, I don't get it. They got all the money.
Titanium in America, right?
Dave, there's steel companies in Buffalo that literally make titanium. They make titanium in Buffalo. The CNC machine was invented in Buffalo, Dave.
It's probably really expensive there, though. They should get it in like a southern state for way less.
Yeah, when they export it to import it.
How much are Cheerios in China, Ryan? Wow, Mike is very anti-harassment. That's fine. I get it. He says don't harass him, hold him accountable. Fine, good enough, I guess.
How are we going to hold him accountable? How are we going to hold a multi-trillion-dollar company that literally is, quote, too big to fail? They're too big to fail, but their airplanes are failing. They fucking failed. We just had another article I sent Dave. It was like a Boeing airplane got it fell like 40,000 feet and almost crashed into the fucking ocean. Another Boeing plane when two guys mysteriously are unalived. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's in our text thread. I texted it to you.
Yeah. I read it. It's Southwest Airlines flight. Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft came within.
Southwest is the company. There's only like 2 plane makers. Southwest doesn't make the planes. It's just the sticker they put on the plane. Virgin Air, they just put the sticker on. There's only like 2 space companies. Which is why, David, remember your conspiracy about getting Elon
Mike says, stop flying. Just stop flying. That'll help.
No, it makes shit's more expensive. Yeah, my 401k tied to it. Don't buy Bitcoin, though. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what to fucking invest in anymore.
Now's the time to buy. If you're buying crypto, go buy it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I'm telling you this right now. They knew that they bought shitty steel, and they thought they could get away with it until 2 little guys was like, oh, my God. I think this isn't even real titanium. We can't put this in an airplane. People are going to die because, hey, that's my fucking job. And also, hey, it's a fucking airplane. Let's not just have them fall out of the air. We got doors blowing off. And what are you talking about?
Boeing.
I know. It was generality. Because I'm not stupid. They killed those guys. Or those guys were driven insane with their freaking brainwashing particle beam, whatever Kevin said that one episode. They can implant a thought in your head with hypnotic fucking. Maybe I'll get hypnotized to stop being so mean. Yo, Dave, wouldn't that be it? When I get hypnotized, I'll be the biggest shill for the government ever. God.
It's kind of weird. Ryan, how much time you got here?
Why?
Well, we could jump into Dave's record, Ryan's record.
Let's do it.
I know you don't like the old Foursquare guys, political Foursquare guys. I thought it'd be interesting though with a VP on the way. If we'd see who we should vote with, like who should we vote for, Ryan?
We're doing the.
I don't know. Maybe
authoritarian, libertarian, and then
yeah, but I haven't updated the I side with for a while. So for people who don't know I side with, this isn't an ad, by the way. This is just I'm just talking. I side with is a website where you can go through a couple quick questions, and based on your answers, it'll say, oh, you most matched answers with this guy, because the candidates themselves also take the same quiz.
Pretty sure I lean heavy. Yours is saying RFK?
No, but Mike is saying RFK Jr. It's apparently who he's looking to vote for.
Yeah, dude, I don't blame you. I don't hate RFK Jr. Like some of the I'm like him. Like that's what I mean. We need to get people in there. Like I may disagree. I mean, obviously, everybody kind of agrees we want clean food, air, and water for our kids. We just got to figure out how to get to it. I get that. But like that guy is what I mean. Like, even though I can't necessarily vote for him, like I'm voting Trump for a very particular reason. But if RFK is the type of people that we can get in there, that's what we need.
Ryan, you see this?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna speed run these though. There's no time to think, just answer. All right, Ryan, you ready?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, hold on. Gee, I didn't even read it. Do you support the use of hydraulic fracking to extract oil and natural gas resources?
Yes. I am time dependent though.
Time dependent? All right.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like we need it right now. I mean like if we need the oil right now, frack. If we don't need the oil, turn it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like I'm down for fracking for. Yeah, we're not going crazy, but this is like part of the thing about this test. It's a good starting point.
You can really dial it in, and you can say if it's more. We're just going to leave them all somewhat importance. We're not going to super dial it in. Should the government provide subsidies? Yeah, exactly. That's all I need.
Fuck Warren Buffett, dude. Bill Gates just made a bunch of money. He did, dude. He invested in one of these, and so did Bill Gates, dude.
Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change? I'm answering for us, Ryan. That's no.
Well, you just gotta stop driving your car, David.
Oh, well, that's good.
Dude, Al Qaeda's still a thing. Al Qaeda's still a thing.
I don't think they exist. Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al Qaeda without congressional approval? I'm saying no. What do you think, Ryan?
God damn, I hate these things. Look, Trump fucking pulled the trigger on El Baghdadi without fucking Congress knowing. So I guess yeah.
So you're saying yes?
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm gonna go with your answer, but I'm gonna make it known that I disagree with you on that. Should the U.S. assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries?
Probably not. No.
What
not suspected terrorists. Well, suspected terrorists and definite terrorists are suspected nobody.
Should the president mobilize the U.S. military against Mexican drug cartel?
No, it's not our country.
You sound like a nationalist, Ryan.
Indeed, too.
Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases?
No.
Do you support the use of nuclear energy?
Also, I'm not anti-vaccine overall, for the record. Yes.
I'm not either. Just yeah.
Yeah, vaccines definitely work, but I'm so done with this
government. Should the government allow the commercialization of lab-grown meat?
Fuck you, Bill Gates. No.
All right. I would disagree just on the basis that I don't think the government should be telling people what they can grow. Although I am against lab-grown meat, just for the record.
I don't want Bill Gates to grow our food, David.
Well, he's going to be a big farmer. Should the government increase or decrease military spending?
He just always wanted to be a farmer, David. That's it. When he hit 60, that's when he decided.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just always wanted to be a farmer.
Lifelong passion.
It's going to feed the world, you know?
Increase or decrease military spending?
I hope that guy falls off that tractor, breaks his whole fucking body. No, decrease. I don't know. Stay the same. I don't know. This is so bold. It's such art.
Should the U.S. remain in the United Nations?
Hell no. We would have to. We have to. See, these are questions that I side with. Just is not. No foreign terrorism suspects. Get the fuck out of here.
Should foreign terrorism suspects be given constitutional rights? No.
No, David. I don't even have constitutional rights, and they're giving them to foreign terrorism.
Should the federal government increase funding of healthcare for low-income individuals?
You're damn right you should. Increase it all the way. Just bankrupt the whole thing, David.
It's okay. Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act?
Fuck yeah, David, of course. What do I hate, Grandma?
Okay. I'm just gonna hit you with it.
You could do no for both, Dave. I only say yes because if we have money for wars, we can fucking do healthcare. I know this is not a very freedom-oriented idea.
Should the government require employees of large businesses to be vaccinated for COVID?
Should the government? No is always the answer.
Should the U.S. build a wall along the southern border?
Yes, I want one tall and deep. I want a moat around that fucker too. And crocodiles.
Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidized healthcare?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Yo, they're just saying I'm pulling Trump, I swear.
Should undocumented immigrants be offered in state tuition rate at public colleges within their residing states?
Isn't it crazy they use undocumented right there on the screen in front of you? Like it's not insulting. No.
Why aren't they documented? I wonder out loud.
Yeah. I wonder why they're not I have to have vaccine to get into school, but these dudes can get government health care.
Should colleges be held financially accountable if graduates with degrees leading to lower income jobs default on their student loans?
The fuck does that even mean? I know what it means.
Should the college be held accountable for a default on a student loan? That's the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. No, I don't know.
The dealerships,
do you hold Chrysler? Yeah, pay up, Jeep. Somebody didn't pay your whole loan.
It's fucking Westhurst's fault you didn't pay your car payment.
Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates?
Rich don't pay taxes, David.
Should the federal government pay for tuition at four-year colleges?
No. Unless it's a Trump college, David. Unless it's
the best college. People say
best college is free. Not a penny more.
Should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich?
The U.S. raises it all the time.
Should the government raise the federal minimum wage?
No. Yes, no.
I'm saying no on that. Should the U.S. raise or lower the tax rate for corporations?
Yeah, raise them. Fuck corporations.
You're saying raise them?
No, in principle, I'd have to have lower taxes.
Just so everyone knows, too, if you go to take this on your own, you can break this down to the amount of importance, and you could do more questions, too, to get a more accurate quiz. But we're just blasting through this. Should frozen embryos be considered children? Now, we're talking an embryo here.
What the fuck?
Not an egg, not a sperm.
No. If we're not considering the other thing. If we're not considering them... You know what I mean?
No, I would say an embryo is a child. Like, there's just no doubt. An embryo is the sperm and the egg already met.
I understand, but it's frozen.
Well, sure. If you freeze a person, are they no longer a person?
They're cold, David.
So people in Alaska aren't people, I take it.
Yes, 100%.
All right, you're saying no, I'm saying yes, but I'll go with your answer. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood?
Probably.
You're saying they should fund it.
Not that they should, but they should probably continue, yeah. I mean, we can't turn it off now. That's that's part of the problem. But no, in theory, right? You would.
Yeah, I'd turn that bitch right off. Should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control?
No.
Should foreigners currently residing in the United States have the right to vote?
I don't even know why these are on the fucking... How are these even screened questions to be asked to an American citizen?
Presume if these are foreigners, they're not Americans, so no, they can't vote. The stupid question is that. Should a ID be required to vote?
Yes.
Should the Electoral College be abolished?
A photo ID? No.
Yeah.
You
not a photo ID?
Well, I think you don't...
What kind of ID would you have?
I mean...
Social Security card?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you don't need a... I know what this is saying to make it simple, but, like, yeah. Like a little evidence, something. I want something.
Yeah, we're just going to go with, for ease, we're going with yes.
Yes, it will prevent voter fraud. No, the Electoral College should not be abolished. No.
Yeah. Correct. If you think it should, go read history.
Yo, you know what's crazy, David, is the only time you hear about it is around election time. That's how you know you just need to leave it alone. Like, it's
All
only a problem when people are losing.
Ryan,
No,
this
they
next
should
one.
not be.
This next one's going to drive Ryan crazy. Should
No.
AI be used to make decisions in criminal justice systems? Who's advocating for that?
An
Is that the
AI
jury of
jury
my
of your
peers?
peers? An
Is that my
AI
peers?
robot with all of my likes and dislikes on my social media profiles?
Fuck off. Should funding for the police departments be redirected to social and community-based programs?
This is a twofer. This is a yes and a no, David. Because I'm sure there's some police departments out there with fucking SWAT teams and they don't need them. You know what I mean? We have militarized police and abolish the police. Replace police with unarmed community. People are out of their fucking mind. Unarmed community-based response. You want the Punisher to show up for non-violent calls. Who do you call for the violent calls?
I'm just going to stick with no on that. That's a fucking wild question.
Replace the police with unarmed community-based responders. You are out of your mind. Oh, look at those community responders here to save us. This guy's only got a flaming sword.
Should police departments be allowed to use military-grade equipment?
If they need to, probably. If a guy's shooting up a school with military-grade equipment, probably needs military-grade equipment.
I'm okay with them having it, but we should have it too.
100%. It should really say should civilians.
Should the government increase spending on public transportation?
Negative.
Should the government...
we need to relocate money. We don't need to increase spending. We need better spending.
You mean not sending hundreds of billions of dollars overseas?
Yes, I am for high-speed rail networks. I don't know if subsidies is the way to do it, but I am for high-speed rails.
For ease, I'm just going to stick with a no on that. Should cities implement congestion pricing?
No. Why, David? Would Cheerios be $15 when it was busy? Jesus, dude. I swear to God, if I have to pay more for food because it's busy. No, it's private property. You can't. I mean...
should homeless individuals that have refused available shelter housing be allowed to camp on public property? I mean, it's public property, I guess, right?
Yeah. You got to be decent, though, right? You would think you'd have to comply with decency.
Sure. Should new housing developments be required to include green spaces and parks?
Yes.
No.
No?
You're saying yes.
No. I don't know, dude. This is tricky. I don't think. Look, should required? No. Should they do
it?
Yeah.
They probably should do it, but should the government tell them they have to do it?
No.
To me, those are two different. Yeah. Technological issues. Should the government mandate that large tech companies share their algorithms?
Yes.
Should citizens be allowed to secure their money in self-hosted digital wallets that the government can monitor but not control?
For the record, I only say that because the algorithm is not an entity. It's not private property. It's not like the algorithm is the matrix and the ether. And until we figure out how to map it and scan it and get through it, our congressmen do need to see that shit. Like, we can't just have Silicon Valley just hold on to their algorithm in a fucking in a dungeon.
I'm gonna say yes to this next one only because it's asking if they should be allowed to do it. I don't recommend anybody does this, but should a citizen be allowed to secure their money in a digital wallet? Sure.
Probably better off storing it on the cloud servers, though.
Should the government implement stricter regulations on the use of cryptocurrencies?
No. That's odd because crypto.
Should members of Congress be allowed to trade stocks while serving in office?
Yes. Why would they not be able to, David?
No reason.
I mean, look.
What they should be able to do it. What they shouldn't do is insider trading.
Yes. And they used to have it. What was it? The Glass-Steagall Act or something, and Bill Clinton removed it, or there's something.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's something like that. And that because they used to be able to do it, just they were regular people like us until they went, nah, no more restrictions on guns. It's enough's enough. Firearm is the most regulated thing in our society.
Should teachers be allowed to carry guns in schools?
Yes. Do they have to? No. Should they? Yes. And they should be trained to go further. We should maybe even have classes built with the local police departments that train teachers, like on how to do. Like we should, and you know what? Pay the fucking teacher. Give them another $50,000 a year.
I don't know if we have to take all these. I think I'm gonna just ignore the rest of those and see who it.
Yeah,
what it
people
says.
don't know what any of these means. Consistency, effectiveness, intelligence. We know what that shit is.
Analyzing campaign finance data.
Analyzing your algorithm.
No thanks. I don't want to share this quiz. Get.
Who we got here? Ooh.
These are
look
parties.
At us. Look at us sticking strong to the roots, Dave.
So we're slightly more Republican than Libertarian, but only slightly.
Only slightly, 1% off.
Transhumanist? What the fuck? Globalization? What the fuck is that? Peace and freedom, forward, American solidarity, Democrat. Wow. Okay.
I do not stand with solidarity, apparently.
I think it breaks it down by candidates, too.
Oh, I'd love to know what the transhumanism said about the court system. I fucking hate those people. I hate those people.
We're highly right-wing libertarian, right?
If they think that I'm going to let a robot sit there and tell me how much jail time I got to do, you are out of your mind, dude. Beat the living crap out of that. All right, what do they got for people?
I think this is where you find it. All right, Trump.
Let's go. I told you. Fuck Nikki Haley.
Dude, no, I don't want to do any of this.
Yo, blockchain.
Dude. I don't want to do either. All right. We're done here.
I told you, Dave. We pull the big guy. We gotta pull the big guy. Was that a surprise to anybody? Seriously. Anybody friend of the show, anybody that follower of the show know Dave and I aren't just out here capping. We actually like legit know what we're talking about here. And we 87, me and Trump get along 87% of the time. That's a good time. It's funny.
All right. It's Dave's record, Ryan's record, and we're out here, Ryan. Ooh. We gotta talk about this. Bringing it up right now. We need a producer. I gotta get Eve. I gotta teach her how to use this stuff. Should be up. All right. Oh.
The exhale, Dave.
Dude, come on. Don't fail me now, Elon.
The exhale, bro.
Hey, we're live.
Hey, look at there's me.
So, World Health Economic Forum. Here he is. Remember when we did the Refounding Fathers, the right to travel?
Yeah. There's going to be people of means who are going to travel, and then there's going to be people maybe who of lesser means who might actually be able to use an Oculus or a Magic Leap or some other kind of device to travel to the same place, but from their own couch. But in many ways, it's actually going to create even more distance between those two people. That psychologically, and I think that we've experienced this through social media. In many ways, it's brought people closer in certain ways, but actually created this remarkable divide because it's even more visible. Actually, the divide in certain ways.
I fucking hate that guy so much. So listen,
Patrick Bet David, please fund me to fly down there to slap that guy in the face, please. Look, the guy just told you you're not going to travel. And I'm going to tell you this right now. He's making it sound like, oh, you're not going to be able to afford to travel to Greece. Yeah, no, Dave. You're not going to be able to afford to go to the fucking park down the street from your house. It's not just like going to Florida or something when you live in New York. No, you're not going to be able to do anything. And you think they're just going to stop at vacation. Soon there's going to be people with greater means that go to work and make an income. And soon there will be people with lesser means that just sit at home and collect a check. And the divide, it will be larger. Because that's what globalism does, David. It increases. It shows the have. He didn't say it either, but he meant to say the have and have-nots, David. Am I mistaken there?
Well, I mean, the some will have some and some will have
some
less.
will have the have and have-nots. Didn't want to say it, though, for the peasantry class out there paying attention. Emergency broadcast. I swear the globalists are going to come and take this program off the edge. It's crazy. I've watched his hair go and his beard grow. It's beautiful.
Oh, did you? This is some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. You gotta pull this up.
Yo, I love the taste, dude. All right, so anorexic black face.
So the Tates, for those who don't know, they started their own cryptocurrency. And they tanked the crypto market in like an hour. It was wild.
Yo, they're on a computer just laughing, smoking cigars. That's great. What a life, dude.
All right, I think it's time for Ryan's record, Ryan.
All right, the only Ryan's record I got, David. We will go into depth about the microplastics next week, David. That article I sent you, I do want to almost go through that thing because we've been talking about it. And we've been just loosely referencing forever chemicals and the microplastics in your balls and the chemtrails. We've been just referencing that shit. So that article that I sent you the screenshot for, we'll pull it up because they have visuals in there. And there was a visual in there I thought was very interesting because they show you the size of the COVID, the coronavirus particle compared to the forever chemical particles. So it was just very interesting. I came across that article, David, too. We don't got to pull it up or nothing, but they found a piece of papyrus in a German museum, and it is the oldest first-hand or second-hand, whatever hand, recollection of Jesus as a child, as a baby. So it's like the oldest living document of Jesus as a child was found, which is amazing. Hunter Biden was found guilty on his gun crimes, which we kind of said that we thought he'd get off scot-free. So I guess that
well, hold on. This is important to bring up, though. What I actually had said before the ruling came in, I had a crazy conspiracy theory, Ryan. And what I said was they weren't going to let him get off because then the narrative was going to be, nobody's above the law, right? And that would kind of justify like Trump. So that's exactly what happened. And literally go to X the day it happened, and that was the exact narrative everybody was saying. Nobody's above the law. See, even Hunter Biden got convicted.
He just sold a bunch of paintings to Russian oligarchs there, David, and made $1 billion. Don't worry, they're just raping the country. I will say this, David. I don't want to get it.
Profits.
Ryan. Maybe we could do a clip.
Maybe
we could do a clip or just have people go watch the actual interviews. But I caught 2 interviews this week, one with Donald Trump on Dr. Phil, and the other one was Donald Trump on the Impulsive Show with Logan Paul, which I am not a fan of the Paul brothers or anything. I don't support the Pauls. I hate them. I don't buy their stuff. But when I seen Trump on there, that's all I needed. And, dude, Trump is such a gangster, bro. The dude is so palatable. He's very well liked. You can tell a lot of people like him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's very odd that like they say all the shit about the guy because when you hear him on a long form podcast, like you're like, what are they talking about? Like now, granted, he might get lost in his own. He might sip his own tea too much. I'm not gonna. I do that. You know what I mean? But the Dr. Phil interview was amazing. It was really nice. I actually told my mom. Dr. Phil pulled up some very, very conservative numbers, dude, and Donald Trump is like the greatest president we've ever had in American history. Just with the very basic, he went very, very conservative on the numbers, and everything was better. And it's almost, Dr. Phil asked him a lot of questions about, like, you know, almost like it's almost foolish for people to not vote for you. Like, how is this happening? And so I guess more than anything, it was just really nice to see Trump actually sit down for an interview and not just get grilled by people that hate his guts. And Dr. Phil actually seemed, I'm not the biggest Dr. Phil fan. And I also did not know that he actually has a high interest in political science. He has like either a degree in it or he studies trials and laws and stuff. So like when he was talking to Trump about the trial and about how he basically said that whole trial, Dr. Phil said the whole trial is a sham, and it's basically a shame to our country that they were able to find you guilty on any of these because they changed the statute of the laws, the things we discussed, David, obviously. But I did not know that Dr. Phil actually, when he reads the legalese, he actually knows what he's looking at. So it was very cool to hear him break down the case as well at such a high level. He's an independent journalist as well. He's got his own program. He's not invested. There's no fucking ads. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a person to listen to Donald Trump on to get real information, it's Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil said, go vote for Donald Trump, basically. You know what I mean? If we're looking at the two people we have as our options, how can you not vote for this guy? He didn't say that, but it was a very good interview. And my December entertainment this week was just Father's Day, bro. Happy Father's Day. I hope you had a good Father's Day. I got to see my father. I got to be a good father. And, you know, I'm just sending love to all the dudes out there, man. You know, I know it's rough. Everybody's going through a little bit of everything right now. We just got to stay strong and be there for each other. This week, personally, I relied on a friend, a buddy of mine heavily this week, and he may be my little angel in disguise, and he don't even realize it. But he always thinks that I'm there to save him. But I would tell you, bro, that a lot of times he saves me. So it's just weird that the larger I get in age, the smaller I look at things. But I guess more than anything, as always, Dave Ryan, December 1773. Make sure you catch us on Friday when we interview the Libertarian candidate, vice presidential candidate,
Libertarian Party vice presidential candidate nominee.
Yeah, I'll have to practice.
I don't know if he's a nominee. He wasn't nominated, right? He was appointed by the nominee. I don't know what the technicalities are of that.
He is running for vice president as the Libertarian Party candidate. So, as always, David, I appreciate you for your time, and I will see everybody later.
Thanks, everyone. Make sure everyone catches us new studio on Friday, 1775 Coffee and whatever roofing company. Thanks.
Yeah, Bearskin hoodie, flashlight too.
Bearskin flashlight.
Later, bro. Thanks. Bye.
See ya.